think as I said very briefly earlier, semiconductor is the kind of a brain or fuel for everything what we are seeing. And the post-COVID, there is tremendous change that has happened over the last 2 years. We are right now in a connected world. Everything is connected. It's a digital world, correct? Where physical and digital are meeting now. And that's the way we will kind of and continue to work in the future. The number of I'm throwing one stats. I know generally in these discussions we keep talking about stats, but in 2020 we were talking about 30 billion devices, connected devices, and in the next 5 years only we are talking about 300 billion devices. So that's a major transformation that we are seeing, and it is happening across the industries. It is not just we are talking about one industry which it happens. Right? Whether we talk about manufacturing or electronic segment or even healthcare, every day we are seeing new use cases coming in these industries which will need the more and more connected devices to kind of come in. In the like even the healthcare, we are talking about so much of a remote monitoring which is happening. Wearables in the healthcare industry has increased tremendously. If you see what we used to have earlier, few years back, and now the number of wearables, it's kind of exponentially it has increased. Right? Even in the automotive segment, a car depends on the semiconductor to be manufactured. We are running into such a supply chain crisis in the automotive sector because of the non-availability of the semiconductor. So that's why it says that without semiconductor, nothing can be created. 5G is, while India, we are still waiting for it to happen, but in the global world, it has already kind of come in. And the number of applications that 5G will open up, again in all the sectors, will be huge. Right? So, which again will create the demand for the semiconductors in every possible kind of way we can think of. So, we are talking about consumer electronics, or we are talking about the healthcare, or even manufacturing. Right? We are talking about now smart manufacturing. The companies who are manufacturing their products are completely kind of doing it automated. We are the data which is lying there in silos that needs to be brought together and then analyzed to take real-time decision making. Especially where in an edge computing environment, right? Number of edge computing applications are also increasing day by day in the process industries, where you need to make real-time decisions immediately. Right? There are so many applications which has come up, which can actually save the cost for the companies who are manufacturing and save the time and the money for them. Right? So all of these applications. What it will need is the minimum to minimum is the semiconductor. So that's where I think this is a big market. It's a extremely growing market. So I think, which is why I was saying, I think you all are in a space which cannot go down. It has to kind of move up and up only. So
thank you. Yeah, I'll add a few words. I think the trends are the 5G and low power video and audio, which will enable a lot more social media, video capture, and connect through 5G, and then a lot of analytics, whether it is done at edge devices or a cloud. These are the trend which is driving market, and it will further drive. Once India is enabled with the 5G market, I think we will just find the endless ways of capturing some of the digital trends and continue further out of that one.
When we talk about the current era, we are talking about digital disruption a lot, and there's an exponential digital disruption that's happening. There are three key parameters to that. One, I think Amit already talked about it in terms of volume. There's a huge volume out over there. Second is the reach. The reach of this particular digital transformation that is happening at remote locations across various countries, remote countries, developing countries. Probably when you talk about the payment systems, anybody who's a vegetable vendor using that digital mechanisms or digital channels is the reach I'm talking about. And third is the richness. When I say richness, it's about the experience that one gets using the digital technologies. And that once person is using it, he's able to use it with ease, and that experience allows him to use it again and again. This digital disruption has got three key aspects. When we talk about these three aspects, I'm talking about the computation power. I'm talking about probably the way the experience is coming out of it. And third is the information. When talking about the computation power, we have data centers, we have GPUs, we have TPUs, we have edge analytics, we have more and more computation power happening at the edge or on the cloud. The second is the information. When we're talking about information, it's about data. And we're talking about data analytics, we're talking about data crunching, we're talking about data modeling, we're talking about inference from that data to come out value using AI, machine learning, and other aspects of it. And third is the experience. When we're talking of experience, we're talking about hyper personalization, which is coming into picture right now, where people are expecting at a personal level lot many things coming out, which is your VR technologies or your virtual technologies using AR, VR, wearables, and others. While these things are coming in from a digital standpoint, the semiconductor industry is actually making chipsets for these particular areas. The computations that are happening either on the edge analytics or on the cloud or using data centers, I think companies like Intel and other semiconductor companies are coming with chipsets from low power to a high computing environment with FPGAs and others. I think that allows us to have the digital disruption going on. So I believe that digital disruption as well as the semiconductor companies are working hand in hand with a lot of things coming in various industries like industrial automations, smart cities, digital technologies in variables and consumer products, which I think has been key. And therefore, I believe that both of them are working hand in hand in bringing the digital space to our life and probably bringing a new norm in the lifestyle.